My name is Nur Sakinah binti Anwar. My number matric 1181251. Today, I will present about the introduction of Jews sect. Judaism, or Al-Yahud, mentioned in the Quran, is a religion or race that existed during the time of Moses. However, today, the Jews are not the people that mentioned by the Quran in the time of Moses. Even those who adhered to the Torah or Taurat have long since disappeared. Several terms in English literature are used to refer to Jews, including Hebrew or Hebraean, people of Israel, children of Ismail, Judeans, people of Judah, and Jews. On the other hand, Jews as an ethnic group have played various important historical events in the dynamics of their lives, so they become a record of world history. Other than that, Judaism as a religion has a certain pattern of religiosity that is different from other religions in life. They are a mixed race that holds a grudge against men and every religion learned by others, and they have been absorbed with atheist thinking and those who have a religion all the time. It can be said that most religion, when abandoned by the prophets or its founder, it will result in a split of sects. The same is the true of Judaism. After it was abandoned by Moses, the following among the sects in Judaism are Pharisees, Siddiqun, Fanatics, Torah or Taurat, Al-Qur'an, Samaritan, and Sabaean sects, and we will study in more depth about the Jewish religion and sects.
Judaism is a monotheistic religion that originated with the ancient Hebrews. Judaism is defined by belief in one God who revealed himself in accordance with scriptures and the rabbinical tradition to Abraham, Moses, and the Hebrew prophets, as well as by religious life. Judaism is a complex phenomenon that encompasses a total way of life for the Jewish people, including theology, law, and numerous cultural traditions. Jews believe that there is only one God who has made a covenant or a special agreement with them. Their God speaks to believers through prophets, rewards good deeds, and punishes evil. Most Jews believe that their Messiah has not yet arrived, but will do so in the future. The spiritual leaders of Jewish people are known as rabbis, and they worship in holy place known as synagogues. David's 6-point star is the symbol of Jewishness. Today, around 14 million Jews are present all over the world. The majority of them live in the United States and Israel. A person is traditionally a Jew if his or her mother is a Jew.
The Israelite is a nation endowed by Allah with various advantages, as in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 47, especially during the reign of Prophet Moses. Among the advantages that have been given is that God saved them from Pharaoh, forgave their past sins, and revealed the Torah to the Prophet Moses as their guide. But they were ungrateful and denied it. Then God reminded people of the advantage given in order to fulfill their previous promise to remain faithful to his teaching that brought by the prophet Moses based on the instruction of the Torah. Various attempts that made by the Israelites to get rid of the prophet Moses. However, the prophet Moses still tried to invite his people to remain faithful to God Almighty. When they came out from Egypt, the Prophet Moses had received an order from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to enter the land of Palestine with him, but they refused, as stated in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 21. Then, the Jews were misled and left to roam in the mountain of Sinai for 40 years, as narrated in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 22, as written from Allah.
The Parsis emerged as a distinct group shortly after the Mercara revolt about 165 to 160 before Common Era. They appear to have differed from Jesus in the dualist concept of good and evil. The active period of Parsis, the most influential movement in the development of Orthodox Judaism. In the past of changed historical conditions, the Parsis preserve and perpetuate Judaism by allowing Jewish biblical to be flexible. The Parsis was essentially a society of scholars and priests, not a political group. Then the Parsis believed in the negative of sin, that it was a transgression against God, destroying agreement between individual and the God. For example, if individual repented, forgiveness of sin was possible.
Among the well-known tribes or groups in Judaism and their beliefs is the Sadducees group. Some even say that this name is a tribute to a famous Kahin a long time ago. The majority of the members of this group are the Jewish aristocrats, the ruling class and the high-ranking. In matters relating to jurisprudence, this group acknowledges the authority of the Old Treaty. Nevertheless, their inclination towards theological matters is negative in nature. These people disagree and reject the belief in the Day of Judgment, the Day of Resurrection, the appearance of the Savior or Christ, heaven and hell, and the Day of Judgment. These groups also rejected the teachings of the Talmud and considered them unholy. They are more focused on the literal interpretation of the Old Testament. Sadducees were more religiously conservative than others. They believed on the words on their face. After that, they also denied the existence of an afterlife. When a person died, their soul perished with them. The only time a person was punished or rewarded was during their lifetime. They didn't believe in angels or demons because they didn't believe in a spiritual realm.
Okay, for the next part, I will present about fanaticism group. The term of fanatic are referring to the dictionary hall that means belief in a teaching to the point of going beyond the limits. The term of fanaticism are refer to an ideology or behavior that show an excessive attitude toward something. According to Winston Churchill, he mentioned that fanaticism is fine, it's difficult to change a patterns of thinking and will not change its course. According to the writing of Muhammad Kamil Abdul Majid, he put the term fanatic same as obsession meaning. Then, he also cited Al-Qaradawi view that fanaticism and obsession with one's own view or that of one teacher or group is one of the most extreme. This attitude describes a person who is incapable of opening discussion to compare his opinion with other views who have a strong of the proposition and reason. Therefore, the word fanatical, extreme, bigoted, and excessive in a matter of belief have the same meaning as referring to conduct attitude that is considered bad when it has exceeded a specific limit.
Sofer or Sofrim, any of a group of Jewish scholars who interpreted and taught biblical law and ethics from about the 5th century. The explanation of the scribes has been widely discussed in various Islamic literatures, especially in the books of Tafsir. But over time, scholars' understanding of the scope towards scribes began to change. At first, scholars argued that the scribes were Jews and Christians, but more and more some scholars, such as Abu Hanifa, begin to include followers of other religions as part of the scribes. The difference in the scholars' understanding of the scope of the scribes are inseparable from their understanding. From Surah Al-Imran, verse 64, marks the beginning of the third discourse of this surah. Its contents invite the conclusion that the surah was revealed sometime between the battles of Badr and Uhud. The subjects of these three discourses are so closely interrelated that some commentators have wrongly understood the verse, which follow to be part of the foregoing discourse. From the whole tenor of the discourse, which now begins, however, it is evident that it is addressed to the Jews. People of the book is a term for a community that believe it adheres to a religion that has a holy book that comes from God other than the Quran.
My name is Nur Fariha binti Ahmad. My metric number is 1181253. The part of the reciters. The reciters of Fuqatul Qura'un are one of the newest and still Jewish groups and still have followers among the Jews of the world, different countries in the present day, and the Quran is few among the Jews. So when the situation deteriorates the Pharisees, the reader grew up and inherited their followers and influence from the Pharisees. Al-Qur'an comes from the Hebrew source to read, and its meaning is to read or pray. Refers to the word Makoro, which means those who abide by the book. According to Imam Ibn Haz, said of the reason for the name the Jews called them the people of Korah. This name is one of the names of their enemies among the Jews, because they used to hold fast to what is found in the Torah and the books of the prophets without other false rabbinic word.
I would like to talk about the Samaritans. Samaritan is the name of an ancient religion practiced by the Samaritan community. They separated the religion from Judaism about 2000 years ago. This religious community still exists today. Samaritan comes from the Hebrew word Samarim, which means guardian. While Samaritan is a religion that keeps the law of the Torah, it is also known as the Abrahamic religion, which is closely related to Judaism. They claim their religion is the original teachings of the Prophet Musa AS opposed to the Jews. The history of the Samaritan religion is quite long because they are also of Hebrew descent, and their religion has existed for so long. In the Middle East, the Samaritans live in the western bank of Palestine or the Gerizim Mountains. Mount Gerizim is the Qibla for the Samaritans. The district was a holy land for the Samaritans community because their house of worship was one erected there. This religion is rarely discussed among theologians, probably because their community is small and is often considered one of the sects in Judaism. Samaritan is a religion that has shaped the identity of its adherents. For them, it is a religion that has been determined by Musa AS and does not need any other prophet except Tahib, which is the prophet who will be born at the end of time.
Sabian group. They were the follower of Abdullah bin Sabah al-Hamiri, who converted to Islam to destroy it from within. Ibn Sabah mobilized the revolution against Osman from word to action, incited incitement and instigate false hadith to support his opinion. He was the pioneer of religious political strife in Islam. Abdullah bin Sabah and his followers appeared since the time of Osman. Abdullah bin Sabah is a Jew. He is from the people of Sana'a, Yaman, and his mother is black community. That's why he is called Ibnu al-Sauda. Abdullah bin Sabah was the first to show extreme in the Shia and claim the divinity of Ali. Next, he moved to Muslim country to fan the flame of sedition against Osman and trying to mislead the Muslim and divert their attention. He stayed in Medina and hunted down some loyal Persian in Medina al-Munawwarah such as al-Majusi Abu Lulu. Then he went to Egypt and went down to a village called al-Nahariya in the middle between Alexandria and Fustat. At Egypt began to spread his poison and he proceeded to find a group that could carry out what he wanted. He actively moved from one country to another and found loyal listeners to spread his poison against Khalid Osman and outrage at Ali. Abdullah bin Sabah also affected the hearts of some people when not mixed with the hope of faith.
In conclusion, we can learn and know about the definition of Judaism. At the same time, we can also knowing about the Jewish religious stage, Pharisees group, fanaticism group, scribes, the reciter, the Samaritan, and Sabian group. From our finding and researching from religion and ideology studies, we also can get and increase more knowledge about others, religion and ways of life that they apply. Then we can learn proof from Al-Quran and Hadith to know about Judaism because it is very clear picture about them and we can understand as well in our life. Thank you.